beautiful. How you doing today? Welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time joining. Whew, this hair is a little, but oh well. Welcome and welcome back. So today we're going to flip this a little bit differently because I realize that I'm always talking about the guys and how they chase the gays and all this nonsense. Just honestly to let y'all know how it really goes down up in there, because a lot of people have the wrong impression, or you have a lot of different guys out here I think either just lying. Honestly, I think like some of these guys on YouTube are just lying, just flat out lying, because they are pandering to their audience and they know what their audience thinks. So because they know what the misconception is, so they just feed into that bullshit. Or I think that they just don't know. Like they never engaged in that stuff. They just did their time without that kind of nonsense, and they don't really know what the hell they're talking about. That's what I think. Well, I think that's a possibility. What I actually think is that they hide in some shit and they just try to kick dirt over their own garbage, is what I think. Personally. So the obvious way of how gay guys can actually like send a guy some sort of signal of interest in praise, and the obvious way that's a gay guy can send a regular guy, I don't like the word regular, we're gonna say a straight guy. A gay guy can send a straight guy a signal of interest in prison. Is obviously the normal ways, like you can send them a kite, which that's not even really realistic. Usually the guys are the ones sending gay guys like notes and kites and things like that, usually. And gay guys just receive them. Queens. I like using the term queen because in prison it's not really gay guys, it's queens. Like, you know, even myself, like I consider myself out here to be a gay guy, period. But in there I was a queen, because there is no such, they don't really exist. Gay guys, regular gay guys, they're like hidden away. I've said this a ton of times. And the people who are like the out public LGBT people, they are queens. They're all acting like women, dressing in tight clothes, and you know, trying to be as girly as possible, and all of this stuff. It's a real wacky type of environment, to be honest. But even myself, you know, I had a beard, but I still was carrying on like, you know, I'm a queen. Just a queen, just a girl in prison, trying to find me a nice man to take care of me. Anyway, so how you send a guy a signal, it's very simple in there. Like, the slightest thing, I feel like I'm getting tongue-tied. I've done this video like a million times already, and the reason I keep getting tongue-tied is because anything you do sends a guy some signal of interest. It's just that easy. For real. An example, to give you an example. This is a literal example of something that happened to me on a daily basis. Let's say I move into a pod, okay? I move into a brand new pod because I got moved out of the cell or whatever, and I'm in a new pod. And I don't know when this pod goes to commissary. Like when they order commissary to go to the store, they call it going to the store. So I'm on the phone with my mom, and she's telling me, oh, I'm going to put some money on your books, make sure that you're alright when you go to commissary. And I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, because I can get some soups and stuff like that. We hang up the phone, and I'm walking back to my cell, and I just see a guy, just a dude just sitting at the table, perhaps waiting to go to chow, or just chilling, just out in the pod, just sitting there. And as I'm walking to the cell, I think to myself like, oh yeah, when do I have to put in my bubble sheet? Like the bubble sheet you fill in to order your commissary, is it due tonight? Did they already go to the store? Like when do we, it just pops in my head like, oh yeah, when do we go to the store? And I just turn to him and I'm just like, hey, when does this pod go to the commissary? And he tells me, he's like, oh, we actually just put in our sheet the other night, and we're gonna go again next week on Wednesday or whatever. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And he's like, you're welcome. And I go into my cell. Something as simple as that, y'all, sent this man sitting down a signal of interest. I swear on everything. Like, something as simple as that send him a message like of anybody in the pod, this queen, me, chose to ask him about commissary. The reason why that sends a signal of interest is because people know it's prison, it's the environment. It's very well aware that I'm a queen, and not everybody wants to talk to a queen. Like, you have gang members in there. You're in a pod of criminals. Like, you're in a pod of criminals. You don't know who you're talking to, so you don't just talk to anybody. I could have waited till we went to Chow and asked one of my homegirls, because these bitches have been on this compound for the past 5 years. They know where every building goes to the store. I could have asked the counselor. I could have asked the guard when you're walking out the pod to go into Chow. There's somebody standing. There's a CO standing in, like, they call it the Sally port, in just like the middle where the 3 pod doors are. There's somebody standing there. I could have asked her, like, when does this pod go to store day? Sometimes they have the things posted at the front, like, but I chose to ask this guy when we go to the store. Because of that choice, that more than likely, a lot of times this happened to me, I'm telling you, daily. Like, a lot of times that gave the guy an impression that I might like him, or I might be interested in him. I might think that he's cute or something. And the crazy thing about it is, it didn't only send that message to him who's sitting here. It sent that same message to whoever saw it. Like, somebody happened to be looking out their cell window and they saw me go and walk over and talk to him really quick, or somebody getting out the shower, or people working out in the pod and they saw me go over and talk to him. Everybody in that moment had the exact same, except for clueless ass old me. Clueless, idiot, naive me. I didn't think like that until it would happen, you know. Like, then I started to really get this. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's really just this simple. Like, to give somebody the wrong impression. I just was asking a question. Like, I didn't think it was that deep, but it is. It really is. So what would happen after that, okay, is one or two things, because chances are he probably got the same sort of signal. So afterwards, and you know, this actually answers a video that I had made a couple of days ago of whether or not straight guys and gay guys can be friends. This right here is an example of why they can't. This is a clean-cut example. So then that happened. It means nothing, right? Either if he felt like that and he is interested in me, like he was hoping that I'd be his type or something like that, he's going to make an effort to talk to me again, this guy. Like, he would either send me a kite, he might come up with some reason to ask me something next time. He'll go to my cell and get my attention or something like that. If I'm sitting at the table later, he might sit down beside me or across from me and strike up a conversation or something. If he's interested, and after I made contact with him like that, he will find another reason to talk to me again now, because now he feels like it's okay to talk to me, you know? But if he's either not interested, or he's like shy, maybe he isn't 100% sure that meant what he thinks that it might have meant, then he would wait for me to talk to him again. And if I did, like, and let's just say it's another innocent thing, like, because he was polite to me the first time, I'm thinking, like, oh, I can ask him again, you know? I mean, I'm in a pod. Like, it helps to know somebody when you're in a pod, like a neighborhood or something. So he was nice to me the first time. I think, like, okay, I don't know what else I would think of, like, God only knows. I don't know, you know. The holiday packs. They have holiday packs quarterly or something. And I just was wondering when the next holiday pack is, you know, for example. So I think, like, oh, he was nice before. Let me just ask him, you know, do you know when the holiday packs are or whatever? Because now I'm talking to him for a second time, and that sort of possibly meant like that first time. Either he's going to be nice some more, or he would be dismissive. Like, he would literally just be like, oh, I don't know, and walk away. Or possibly just get up and leave. There's some guys like that really makes them nervous in prison because he knows what people are thinking by me going and talking to him. Like, so he might just get up and just leave, you know, and just nah, and then just leave, or not say nothing at all, you know. So yeah, that just answers the other video where I was talking about how gay guys and straight guys can't be friends. They can, right there, they can. Okay, but in terms of sending signals, it really is easy for gay people to do that. Like I said, a simple conversation could send somebody that kind of signal. Me personally, when I was in there, anytime I had to walk to anywhere, anytime I went to Chow, walking to the rec yard, walking to the gym, if I had to go to medical, walking to class or something like that, I always looked down. Like, I always would be looking down. I would never look straight ahead, because even something as simple as just locking eyes with somebody, I'm walking, going to Chow, and somebody's walking towards me, you know, it's a boulevard, two-way walking path, and somebody's walking, and we lock eyes real quick. Something as simple as that, I've had guys later take that as an opportunity to talk to me later in the pod, or in class, or in the Chow hall, or on the rec yard. Later they would take that as like like a signal of some kind, like a signal, like, oh wow, he noticed me, you know. And it means nothing. It means nothing. But in there, it means an awful lot. It really does. It's very easy. Now, more scandalous ways. Because, of course, this is prison. It's a bunch of men. Men are very aggressive beings, very physical beings. So, like guys, straight guys, if they want to send a queen like a signal, hey yo, I'm feeling your ass, they're gonna make sure you know it by whipping out their tool and swinging it in your face. I've had that done, you know. Or they will write you a kite. They might send you something. I've had people send a gift like party favors, commissary, or something like that, you know. The same is done for a queen. Usually they will flash them something. For example, Katrina, I knew. She was a transgender female. She had actual breast, and she used to flash her breast all the time, and her behind. I did the same thing a couple of times. I flashed my behind to this guy. Oh my god. There was this guy. How many times did I do this while I was locked up? I've done it 4 times while I was locked up. 3 times, like, on my own, like, just free will, deciding to just flash this person. 3 times. No, I'm lying. Half and half. I did it 4 complete times. 2 times on my own free will, and 2 times because I was asked to do it, and I didn't mind, you know. The first time that I ever did it was in receiving this. It was actually a queen. Can you believe it? This is before I knew the rules, and that's why I think this queen was taking advantage of me in a way, because I think this queen that I had met in receiving, they had been a gay guy on the streets, is what I think. I think they were a regular gay guy on the streets, a white guy, actually, a white queen, and then came to prison. And like I say, it's not really a thing in prison to just be a gay person. Even right now, Cam's kind of breaking the rules, because Cam's a masculine guy and he's just gay, but he don't really care, and he's sort of alienated. Like, people, they don't really talk to him. You know, he has it kind of rough right now, and we're hoping to get him out soon, actually. But the guy, this queen, he would come by my cell all the time while I was in receiving. You're locked down for 23-1, basically, in receiving, and he would give me stuff. He would slip, like, commissary under my door. He would get my laundry bag to wash my clothes and stuff, and when he'd give it back to me, he'd give me stuff in the laundry bag, like, in exchange. He would peer through my window, and he just thought that I was so beautiful and all this stuff, and he would ask me to, you know, at first, when he was trying to get me to, like, flash him, I kind of just assumed he meant like my backside and stuff. But then I came to realize he was actually talking about my front. But anyway, that was the first time. This is like my jumping off to prison. And the second time was in the hole. Again, this guy was asking me to do it. He was making sure I was getting like extra food, magazines. He gave me a radio and all of this stuff. And then there was only one time that I flashed him, and then after that I didn't want to do it again. I didn't like doing that kind of stuff. It's very common, believe it or not, to do these kinds of things. But and I mean for anybody, not really just only queens, but anybody. Like, you have regular guys, straight guys that they don't have nothing, and somebody takes a liking to them and giving them a whole bunch of stuff, and then at some point they might jokingly pat them on their butt or something, or the guy actually might just do it on his own because he feels like, why is this guy being so nice to me, you know, and then jokingly he just, I don't know, has the guy come over to his cell and he just gives him a show. Like, I mean, it's a bunch of guys locked up. What do you expect? Of course this kind of stuff goes on, you know? It's surprising to hear when you hear, like, it goes on in the female prisons. Like, there's a couple of you that have told me about what goes on in the female prisons. And I knew that girls can be friendly, I guess, with each other and fluid with each other, more so than guys. But I didn't know that they could be as, like, explicit, I guess. I don't know the right word. As like guys can be sometimes, like outright, just, you know, bam, you know. I thought girls are a little bit more, I don't know, romantic, I guess, with the things that they do, or intimate, I guess, with the things that they do. But, you know, I suppose not all girls. I don't want to sound ignorant. Lord knows I love girls. I'm not trying to sound ignorant, but it just is interesting. It's interesting to know that they can be just as like aggressive when it comes to sexual things as guys can, you know. But anyway, those were those 2 times, and then the other times after that, the next 2 times, I did it like trying to send somebody a signal like, hey, I am feeling you. And both times it was received well, but nothing happened because the first time that I did it, well, like the 3rd time technically, but the next time that I did it, the guy was getting ready to go home, and I think that he really was caught by surprise that I was doing this, but he definitely kept making sure to be at his cell window every time that I was in the cell, and he'd be shirtless every time. When I first moved into the cell, he didn't walk around like that. Like, I liked him from the get-go, and he just had my attention. And he would be in his cell, like, you know, chilling with, like, his shirt, you know. But then, over time, it's like, not even over time, it was, like, a couple of days of me being in the cell. I guess he noticed how much I'm in the mirror fixing my hair or trying to do my eyebrows or something like that. And he would be in the mirror, even though he's bald and you only brush your teeth when you, or wash your hands when you're at the mirror. If you're a bald guy that doesn't wear any makeup, why is he just standing at the mirror? But he would just be standing there, like, admiring his tattoos or something in the mirror, looking at his head. And then he was shirtless all the time. And then every single time I was in that cell, even after I started doing that, I knew he could see me, like, and he definitely kept looking. And then he tried to talk to me one time, and I was so nervous. But he was getting ready to go home, and he was too shy to really try anything. And then I was too scared to, like, just outright be like, oh my gosh, drop your pants for me, please. Yeah. So nothing happened. Then the last time that I did this was in the program, and the only reason nothing happened between me and this guy is because by the time he got the balls to start talking to me, I was already with Cam, and I wasn't gonna cheat on Cam. Like, there have been so many times that I would have loved to explore what somebody was offering me, but my loyalty to Cam is unbreakable. I just can't, like, step out on this guy. I just can't, even though it probably would be so much fun sometimes, but I can't do that to Cam. I love him so much, and I don't know. I feel like if I ever were to do something like that, it means that I'm placing more value in that, even if it means nothing. Like, even if I were to just do something purely because um, I just want something, maybe I'm not getting it from Cam, or something, I'm not getting something from him, or I'm angry at him, like he's not treating me right, or he's not appreciating me or something. We're fighting all the time, and it's like I just want to relieve my frustration and my tension or something. I feel like by doing that, it's like I would be allowing this person to mean more to me than what Cam means to me. And it's like, I just can't do that because he means so much to me. And that's why the times that we've like fought and stuff, it really hurt. And I don't know if this was like a therapy session or something, because I've been all over the place with this video. And I'm finished. I love you guys. But yeah, it's real easy for gay guys to send a signal to a straight guy, especially in prison. Like, it don't take much. It's more work to try to not send these signals, So, have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe. Talk to you later.